Right now, somewhere in a bank, there's a number sitting in an account. Maybe it's yours. Maybe it has a comma in it, maybe two. And the person who put it there feels good, responsible, disciplined, safe. They have no idea it's shrinking, not because anyone stole it, not because the market crashed, because of something so quiet, so slow, and so invisible that most people go their entire lives without ever noticing it. It's called inflation. And you already know what it is. You just don't know what it's actually doing to you. Here's the thing about inflation. It never clocks out. It doesn't wait for a recession. It doesn't pause during a bull market. It just works. Every single year, quietly and consistently, it chips away at the real value of every dollar, pound, or rupee that's sitting still. In 2024, the average savings account in the United States was paying around 0.5% in annual interest. Inflation that same year was running above 3%. That gap, that quiet and completely unremarkable gap, is exactly where your wealth disappears. You deposit $100. A year later, the account says $100.50. But the things you could buy with that money now cost about $103. You didn't lose money. You lost the ability to buy things. Most people treat that distinction like it's philosophical. It isn't. To really understand what's happening, you need to understand what money actually is. Money isn't wealth. It's a claim on wealth. It's a ticket. And like all tickets, what matters isn't the number printed on it. What matters is what you can exchange it for. When central banks, the Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, the ECB, need to stimulate an economy, they expand the money supply. More currency enters circulation. And when there's more money chasing the same amount of goods and services, each individual unit of that money buys slightly less. That's inflation at its core. More tickets, same concert. Now here's where your bank enters the picture. When you put your savings in a bank, the bank doesn't sit on it. It lends it out. It earns interest on those loans, sometimes 7%, sometimes 15%, sometimes even more on credit card debt. And what does it pay you in return for providing that capital? In most standard savings accounts, almost nothing. The bank is using your money to generate returns. You're supplying the raw material. And your cut of that arrangement is so small that after inflation, you are effectively paying them for the privilege. Let's run the actual numbers, because this is where it stops being abstract. Say you saved $10,000 in a basic savings account at 0.5% annual interest. After 10 years, you have roughly $10,500. Sounds fine. But if inflation averaged just 3% per year over that same period, the purchasing power of your original $10,000 is now equivalent to about $13,400. Your account has $10,500. You're nearly $3,000 short. Not on paper. In reality, you saved faithfully. You did everything right. And you still came out behind. Economists call this negative real returns. The nominal number goes up. The real value goes down. And most people only ever look at the nominal number. It gets worse when you consider that this math assumes a calm, moderate inflation environment. In 2022, inflation in the United States peaked above 9%. In the United Kingdom, it crossed 11%. In parts of the developing world, numbers like that would feel like a good month. The financial industry, of course, has answers. Invest in the stock market. Buy index funds. Get into real estate. And honestly, those answers aren't wrong. Historically, equities have outpaced inflation over long periods of time. But here's what the brochures never say out loud. Those instruments carry real risk. Stomach-dropping, retirement derailing risk. The stock market doesn't go up every year. It crashed in 2000. It crashed in 2008. It fell sharply in 2020. And in each of those moments, the people who needed their money right then, for a medical bill, a lost job, an unexpected crisis, found out very quickly what risk actually feels like. The advice to just invest quietly assumes you have a long time horizon, a stable income, and the psychological constitution to watch your savings drop 40% without panicking. That's not most people. That's not even most financially literate people. So what's the alternative? There isn't a clean one. High-yield savings accounts help close the gap, but rarely beat inflation entirely. Treasury bonds offer more safety than equities with better returns than cash, but they aren't exciting, and the financial media doesn't make money talking about them. The uncomfortable truth is that the system simply isn't built with the passive saver in mind. It's built around movement, around deployment. Money at rest depreciates. That's not a flaw in the design. In many ways, it's the whole point. It pushes money into circulation, into investment, into economic activity. It just does all of that at your expense. And there's a bigger story underneath all of this. Wages across many developed economies have grown slower than inflation for decades. Housing, healthcare, and education have all risen far faster than general prices. The old advice, save more, spend less, be patient, was written for a world where a savings account could actually hold its own against the rising cost of living. That world is largely gone. What's left is a strange and deeply uncomfortable paradox. The safest thing most people can do with money, the most boring, responsible, low-risk behavior possible, is the very thing that quietly makes them poorer every year. And most people have no idea. So the next time someone tells you your money is safe in the bank, it probably is. But the question worth sitting with is this: safe from what exactly? There's a real difference between money that can't be stolen and money that can't be eroded. And right now, for most savings accounts, only one of those things is true. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.